abstract classes, right? Let me check what we covered yesterday. Polymorphism, then yeah, abstract classes. Yes, anyone on this? Abstract classes. Hmm. Anyone? Yes, Mahesh, Hani.
Uh, I forgot, sir, but as
Mm-hmm.
my remembrance, so which is not implementation only we can definition we have, that is abstract class, I think so, sir.
Okay. All right. Let's see this. So in ABAP, what we see here, an abstract class is a class which cannot be instantiated. First thing, that is, you can't create objects of it. It is a abstract class. Yeah, it cannot be instantiated. This class must have at least one abstract method. At least one abstract method. What is a abstract method then? An abstract method is a special type of method. You can simply call it is a special type of method which is only defined and is not implemented. That is, no logic is written into it. It is abstract. So a class which we cannot create objects, and it must contain at least one abstract method, a method which have only definition, no implementation. It can have any number of non-abstract method, and it can have any number of non-abstract methods. So the question is arising in my mind, like, if I can't create the object of it, what is the need of this particular class? So this class serves as a blueprint for other classes. This class serves as a blueprint. Using these classes, we will inherit the feature of this class, and then we are going to use it. Just following the same stuff. Yeah. So let's take example. For example, let's say a vehicle class. The class I am giving example of vehicle. A vehicle class. So it has suppose a method called speed, engine, etc. Or let's say number of doors. Yeah. Number of wheels. This is one class, suppose. And this is one abstract class, a vehicle class. Now this class is getting inherited into truck class, let's say car class, auto class. Everything is a vehicle. So this truck class, now speed will be implemented, let's say 40 km per hour. Some special, let's say engine one. Here it will have two doors and suppose 18 wheels, right? Same thing will be implemented in a car class differently. All these methods will be implemented differently here, let's say 60 km per hour. And here we will have a separate engine, Suppose 4 doors and here 4 wheels. All these methods will be implemented differently, correct? If I am talking about this auto is also a vehicle. The speed will be different here, engine will be different. And here, let's say, how many doors? Let's make it 2 only, or 0 doors. And here we are having 3 wheels. Right? So these classes are implementing this abstract class here. These classes are implementing this abstract class, inheriting the feature of it, and it contains all these methods. These methods have a separate implementation in different class. So this class serves as a blueprint for other classes. That is how you can implement it. So that's what you are going to do. Let's see this. I will simply go for my server. And let's log in. I'll create one program here, the abstract classes. So create abstract class, and we can have a executable package and request. So I need to create one abstract class. So let's say class class 1 definition, and you will simply mark it abstract. So this class, now here I can have public section, and I will define one method. Suppose methods display data. Method I am creating. Now I will simply mark it abstract. So this is a abstract method. Abstract method. This you see is a abstract class. So abstract class and abstract method. Now if you check, there is no error. System is not asking for any implementation. Neither system is asking for any implementation. And now you can also create the object. If you try to create the object of this class, is going to give you the error. If I'm just writing here obj, if I'm going for new and here class 1, the system will give me error. System is simply going to give me error. If you check, instances of the abstract class cannot be generated. It's not possible. However, we can inherit this class. So we can do the same thing here, class 2 definition inheriting from class 1. That's what we can do. And we can redefine these methods here. So I'll go for public section, and this methods display data redefinition, and we can simply write the logic. So this class 2 will have a separate implementation. The same thing we saw for polymorphism concept yesterday. Same thing will be applied here. So class 2 implementation and class. Here I will have my method name. So method display data. And here I can write any sort of logic, whatever I'm looking for. So suppose I am abstract method. So now I can create the object of this class 2, and I can use the same stuff. You can call it. So local object and calling this display data. Hit a printer and activation and check it. It's working perfectly fine, right? So this is my abstract class. Again, see, everything has its own use case. This class has been designed only for a special purpose, only to make sure that we can have some separate inheritance feature here. We can simply define something in this class and we are using it into a separate class. So the same thing you can try. I just have taken this example as a normal example of vehicle, which we are using in truck, car, and separately in auto class also. Now using this truck class, a truck object will be created, which will have all these features. A car class using which a car will be created, which will have all these features. So this is designing. Once the real object will be created, that real object will have all the features that we have in the design. Correct? So same thing will be implemented. Let me just share it with you so that you can also use it. So code. Is it okay, everyone? Abstract classes. Hmm? I can't hear you. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Right? Interfaces. Tell me, what's the difference between an abstract class and an interface? Abstract class and an interface. What's the difference here?
So before moving
Abstract.
to interface, like in polymorphism also we are redefining, and in the abstract also we are redefining it. What scenarios will be using this abstract mostly?
See, polymorphism is not a concept here. Abstract class is a, see, you need to understand this thing. Polymorphism is a property, okay?
Okay.
This is a property which is allowing you to reuse the methods that has been defined in the parent class into the child class, which will have a separate implementation in the child class and will have a separate implementation in the parent class. Now, when we are talking about the abstract classes, abstract class is saying that it must have at least one abstract method, a method which will have only definition, no implementation. So this implementation you are going to do where? Inside the child, oh, sorry, not this one. You are going to do inside the child classes. So when I declared here in the child class, there I am going to do the definition. So here you will have to redefine it. So you are using this polymorphism property. I'm just using this polymorphism property.
Okay.
So now if I inherit, I can do the same thing. Just see this. If I'm going for a class 3, class 3, polymorphism is just a property I'm using here. Let's say a definition inheriting from class 2 now, and end class in here public section, and I can just do methods, this display data, redefinition here also. Now the same method, see, it will behave differently here. Class 3 implementation end class, and I can have simply this method display data and method. So now if you check, see, no error. So this class will have its own implementation for the same method. I'm just using the polymorphism property.
Okay, got it.
Okay,
Okay.
great. Interfaces. Yes. Guys, please make sure that every concept must be cleared. I'm just trying to make sure that it must be clear. Once we are moving forward, there should not be any lag in a shares. What is interface?
it is similar to the class, but the methods which are defined in the interfaces are all abstract.
Similar to a class, okay, but all the methods are abstract here.
Yes.
So interfaces again similar to abstract class acts as a blueprint. First thing, abstract is a blueprint for other classes. But unlike abstract classes, here you are going to see all the methods are by default abstract in nature. So if I would have wanted here inside this abstract class, I can have the non-abstract method also. I can simply have the non-abstract method here. So I can just do display employee, or let's say display result. So I'm having here a non-abstract method. So I can have the implementation automatically here, class 1, implementation, and class. And I can just pass here the method display underscore result and method. And here you can just write the logic, whatever you want. So hello, I am a non-abstract method. That is a method with implementation. No problem here. But this thing is not allowed in case of your interface. Interface, all methods will be by default abstract in nature here. Yes. You can add or you can use multiple interfaces in one class. That is why I said earlier, we can implement multiple inheritance using interfaces only. We can just create one scenario where we can show that we are implementing multiple inheritance. So here we can use multiple inheritances using interfaces. Same thing, let's see this. Yeah. So I will create one program for it. The interfaces. Interface in ABAP. So type executable package request. Interfaces. So interface. Yeah. Interface name. So let's say first interface and interface. In SAP, everything has a start point and an end point. This is a normal interface. Now you can have here methods. Every method will be by default abstract. You don't need to make it abstract. So let's say method 1. Everything is by default abstract. You don't need to mark a abstract especially here. We can have another interface. See this interface, second interface. Yeah. And interface. Here also we can have methods. So let's say methods, method 2, method 2. Yeah. Two interfaces we have. Now I can have a class, let's say local class, definition, and class. Now I can have my public section, and I can add any number of interfaces that I want. Just use the interface keyword, interfaces, colon, and I can simply use them here. First interface and second interface, comma, second one. Just using them. So whatever definition here we have given, we can simply write the logic for them. Otherwise, system will automatically give you the error. Class, local class have a definition but does not have a implementation. And all these methods where they have been defined inside this interfaces. So here we can have the logic, local class, implementation part, and class, and I can have the method. Now with this interface, you need to understand this thing here. Earlier, when we were talking about abstract methods, abstract classes, we were just using the name of those methods. But here, when you are using an interface, the name of the method will always start with the interface name. Interface name, first interface, tilde operator, and then method name. This is my method 1. This is how you are going to call it, a method of an interface, and method. Yeah, now inside it you can simply write the logic. You can write the logic for the second one also. If you check the problem here, now it is saying implementation missing for the second interface method 2. See this? So this also again we need to do. So second one, second interface method 2. Correct? We are having here one method 1, method 2. Now inside it you can simply write your logic. So one write statement, I am interface 1, interface 1. Here we can have a separate implementation for it. So let's say write statement, I am interface 2. Correct? So this is your multiple inheritance here. Yeah. Okay. Right. So I can have here start of selection, and now I can create the object of this class, local object, let's say new keyword, and my class name, local class. And now I can call these objects, these methods. Again, the same name will be followed, interface name, tilde operator, and method name. Same thing. And then parenthesis opening and closing. Local object, same thing here also. Second interface, method 2. Right? Activation. And there is one error. Let me check it. The class does not contain an interface, second interface, however, okay. Second interface interface. Yeah, now it is okay. There is spelling problem here. Second interface. Yeah, here also. No, it should be okay. Method first, second, enter. Yeah, now it is okay. Activation. And we can simply check it. This is your interface concept and your multiple inheritance also. Using interfaces, we can implement it, but using classes, it is not allowed here. So you can't go for it using classes. Any questions on this? Any question on this?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, tell me one thing. You guys have been working on core ABAP programming. So we have classical report, classical interactive report, we have ALV report, lots of reports are there. So I'm asking, what is the event? If you have to define one event, how you are going to define it?
Performing some action.
Performing some action. Can you please elaborate a little bit?
Like we are when we want to display some report, we are calling a function module. It is also a type of event.
Okay. See,
So
can I
here
say,
in OOPS also, like if you want to call the method which we have implemented before, that's also an event.
okay. All right. So can I say this? An event is something which gets triggered either automatically. Just please help me to understand it. Either automatically or when user is performing any action, anything. If we are talking about classical report, if I am talking about add selection screen event, if I am on the selection screen, if user is performing anything, that event will trigger, right?
Yes.
So this event is going to help us to perform certain stuff that we are looking for. We have events in almost everywhere. In classical report, in module programming, in object oriented programming also we have these events. What is the use of this event? So in object oriented programming, yeah, so a method of one class can call the method of another class using event. A method of one class can call the method of another class. So we can define our custom events here. We can define here our custom events. Also in standard classes, you see SAP has given lots of standard events. Lots of standard events. So the same thing is also applied here. Yeah. A method of one class can call the method of another class using event in object-oriented programming. That's the definition of it. So how you are going to do this? Let's see, understand it. So in OOPS, we need to follow three steps for events. Three steps you need to follow here. Step one will be, you will have one triggering method. So class one, there will be one method. This method is going to be called as triggering method. Triggering method. So what this is going to do, this will raise the event. Then you will have a class 2. Class 2 will have its method. This will be your event handler method. So whenever you raise an event, you always handle it. So the same thing will be applied here also. You will have an event handler method here. Here you will write the logic. You will write the logic for event handling. You will write the logic for event handling. And then the last one, the third one. So we need to tell the system that this event handler method is for the object of class 1. Three steps you need to follow. This is known as registration. So registering the event handler. Registering the event handler using set handler statement. Using set handler statement. Yeah. Using set handler statement. So total 3 steps are there which we require to understand and which we require to follow here. Yeah. Total 3 steps are there which we are required to follow. Let's see this. Let's take one requirement to understand this in detail. So I am having here events, object oriented, object ABAP. Events in ABAP. And here I'm passing executable, package and request. So suppose there is one requirement. Requirement is to display the let's say sales order data from both the VBAK and VBAP. Yeah, this is my requirement. So I am having one class. Also the requirement says if there is any wrong input, use the events to display text for it. Suppose this is a situation I'm creating here. So again, I will follow my traditional way of a web programming. I need a structure. So I'm just having my structure here, TY sales, and it will have the columns that I need from both the tables. So I'm having here date, data element, time, data element, username, data element, and some columns from item also. So data element and Mapner here, data element. This is my local structure. I will have my internal tables. So data keyword, LT sales, type table of TY sales, and my work area type. Or let's say I don't need the work area. I will directly display it using CLDemo output. Yeah, I will have a select option. So LV Veblen type data element. So Veblen VA. And I will have here select options as Veblen for local variable Veblen. Now I can simply create one class. So let's say class 1 definition and class. I'll have here public section. Now here you can have methods. So let's say display sales. And now I will declare one event here also. Yeah, let's say I'm naming it wrong input. So my class 1, this will have my raising event. This will have my raising event. Now I will have the implementation of it. So class 1 implementation and class. And I can go for method display sales and method. And I can simply write the logic here, all these columns. So select vback, Veblen, vback date, vback name, time, name. We can have VBAP, so item number and material number from VBAK, inner join, VBAP on your VBAK Veblen equal to VBAP Veblen. And I will store it. So into table LT sales where VBAK Veblen in S Veblen. Yeah, that's the thing here. So if size of RC equal to 0, I can simply, if it is not equal to 0, we can raise this event, right? So not equal to 0, I will go for raise event and my event name wrong input. Wrong input. So this is my event triggering method. This is your event triggering method. Then you will have here class 2. So class 2 definition. Yeah, and class. Here you will define your event handler method. So your public section and method, let's say I'm going for display message. And this event handler is for what? So you will have to use for event keyword here. For event, what is the name of the event? Wrong input. And this wrong input is of which class? So of class name. This is my class here, class 1. We will use class 1. So this is your event handler method. Handler method. Event handler method. Now you can simply write this logic for the event handler. So class 2, implementation, and class. And we can just go for method, display message. And we can simply write here a text that I want to display. Please enter correct sales document number. Yeah. So this is my step 2. Step 1, raising the event triggering method. Step 2, event handler method. And then the last one, registration. Start of selection. I will create the object for both these classes. Local object 1, new keyword, class 1. And I will have a local object 2. So 2, new keyword, class 2. 2 classes, 2 objects. And we will do the registration. So set handler. This is my event handler method. So local object 2, and the name of the method is display message. This is my method for event handler. And this is for which object? Local object 1. Because in that we have our event triggering method. Registering the event handler. That's the procedure for implementation of events in object-oriented programming. You always do the same, either if you are following the custom or you are following the standard one. Now you can simply call the method and you can check it. So I will call my method here, event triggering method obj1, and I will call display sales. Yeah. And if here size of RC equal to 0, not equal to 0 is there, otherwise if else, in the else block I will simply display the output. So serial demo output display my LT sales. Yeah. So now I'm going to simply put here one breakpoint. Let's see what is going to happen here also, and execute it. I will pass correct input here and I will do the execution. So desktop 3, size of RC is 0. This query has been executed. So this is going to line 46 and this output will be displayed. Yeah. But if I am passing here, let's say something which is not there in the system, now what will happen? Again, size of RC is 0. Are we getting anything? Yes, we are still getting. Okay, let me pass some incorrect value. All right, 9999. Let's check now. Yeah, size of RC is 4. This value is not there in the system. So LT sales will be empty now. Size of RC is not 0. This event will raise. And this is going to simply call this message. See, please enter correct sales document number. Please enter correct sales document number. So if you will pass the correct value, you will get the details. And if you will pass the incorrect value, you are simply going to get this message. And how it is happening? Using the events. 3 steps you need to follow for the implementation of it. Yeah. Is it okay? Yeah, any questions out of this? Anyone? Any questions here? Any questions for today? Funny?
No, sir, but I have a small doubt, like
Hmm?
how we can able to implement these classes in like this in global class. This is my question actually.
Yes, definitely. You are asking about events?
Yeah, how we can able to do this in global classes.
You can do the same thing. Global. Classes. Global class. Okay, usual ABAP. So here you will have the same here, display, let's say, uh, or better I will make it event triggering method. And I'm making it instance public triggering method. Okay, here is your events. You can simply just pass here the same thing that we have given here, wrong input. Yeah, you can make type instance event and visibility as public, activated. So this is my class 1. Now if I go back to my source code section, just check it, whatever just we implemented. Triggering area, class 1. Same stuff inside the public section, correct? Then you are asking about the second class. So SA24 events handler. So class event handler. And here I'm defining event handler. So label is instance public event handler. So how we did it? We here in class 2, we made it for event, right? So we need to tell that this method is for an event which has been defined in another class. So how we are going to do this? You will select it and you will go for the properties. We'll go for the properties. and inside it, wait a second. Yeah, here you can just pass event handler for class name. That is your class, the global event. And the name of the event is, you can simply here F4 help is also there, wrong input, change it and activate it. Okay. Now you go to program, create the object of both of them and do the same. So now if
Okay, sir.
you check here if you check here the source code, it will be implemented in the same manner as we did for event wrong input of class 1. Okay.